A perfect team. Zareen, that is Dr. Cleopas Fore, our last PhD candidate and our new doctor. In fact,
Oh.
you must have met him maybe one or two times when he visited my office. And of course, Cleopas, that is Ms Zareen Hoosain, who is the research support of my office over the years. Though she's now a senior manager at Rand Merchant Bank, you know.
Not a senior manager. I wish. I'll get there. I'll get there.
So once in a while she still comes back to assist me because she loved my work so much. I love my office so much. And, I think she's the best assistant that I have gotten over the years, that have assisted me over the years. And she's quite good in terms of professionalism. Cleopas, our main meeting naturally after the graduation of each of our PhD candidates, Mrs. Zareen always follow up with an interview just to establish your research journey, your experience with UJ, your experience with the department, and other pertinent things. It's just a chat. Ms. Zareen. Ms. Zareen is known by almost all our PhD candidates because she always follow up with them so that we leave an advice for future PhD candidates and the upcoming ones, you know, in terms of what each of the forebears. You have not joined the forebears of PhD candidates, what they have to say, and we'll keep a record of that. So I will leave you as Zareen to have a chat within the next, say 20 to 30 minutes, if you like, then I will join back again. So I will excuse both of you to have a chat in terms of this interview.
Okay, Professor.
Okay. Thank you very much. Enjoy your
Thank you.
session. Okay.
Thank you,
All
Prof.
right.
Yeah. Okay.
Hi, Zareen.
Hi, Dr. Cleopas Fore. How are you?
I'm all right. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. First of all, I'd like to say thank you for taking the time to have this interview with me and this little catch-up session after your hard work. And congratulations on your new achievement.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Sorry for that. You know, our environment is a little bit high pressure. So when I was about to join, we had an employee who had an injury and I was attending to it, which also took a little bit of time for me to come and join. And in the middle, you never know. I can be called anytime for anything. So I hope we won't be disturbed as we'll be discussing.
Okay. Well,
All
thank
right.
you for that disclaimer. Okay, so to start us off, would you mind just telling us a little bit about yourself, your full names, where you come from, what your interests are?
Okay, I'm Cleopas Fore. That's my full names. In terms of upbringing or early development, I grew up in a rural setting, particularly any rural setting in an African setting. And all my elementary education I've done in the rural areas. The only time I came into the city was when I was doing my first degree, which was in psychology. So I would say being a learner in our environments where sometimes books are not easily accessible at early development, where in some remote areas like Kinyanga, that's where I grew up in, teachers are not easy to come by. It wasn't easy. Definitely it wasn't easy. And fortunately, I made it up to college. And I had a first degree in psychology, then a second one in occupational psychology. And I then decided to do a PhD. The reason being, I like reading, I like writing. So I had a lot of free space especially after 4 or 5 o'clock up to 8, 9, there's little much to do at that times and during the night. So I had to use that space to study and obviously to sharpen research skills. In my spare time, I do consultants for firms, for government, and I also present on conferences in Zimbabwe on HR conferences. So basically, that's who I am. My interest more is on reading, on writing. The other challenge, though, is that when you do write, get through to journals is not easy. That's one thing. So you end up writing, you end up drafting or doing presentation conferences, which you would think the paper may be suitable for a journal, but because the links and everything else is not so easy to come by, and you write to a journal, they don't either respond, those kind of things. But basically, I would say I love reading, I love writing, and doing research, change management, consultants. That's my area.
Well, you know what they say, that if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. So continue doing what you love, and those opportunities will come your way. I'm sure of it.
Sure.
I also wanted to ask you, you said you got a degree in psychology. What inspired you to get a degree in psychology? Was it something that you've always been passionate about?
No, to be honest with you, you won't believe it, but my first enrollment was for an architect degree. And then I studied for about 2 months, and I felt it's not me, and I don't like it, and I don't want it. Then I left. In the very same year, then I enrolled for psychology, and they were saying you have to put about 3 options. You can't write one option, but I did write one option because that's what I wanted. I wasn't so sure really what psychology is all about, and I wanted to be a clinical psychologist. I didn't want to be an industrial psychologist, but fate found me in industrial psychology part of it. I didn't want to be an industrial psychologist. That I can be honest with you. I wanted to be clinical, and my first, if you look at my first degree, all my distinctions are at the clinical side. With organizational psychology, it was two ones. It was really not distinctions. But my first job, I got a job at Zimbabwe's Labor Court, and that's when I started to read a lot of cases that were coming in from the industry, and the passion started to grow after college to do industrial psychology. And then I went back for the master's degree. But I had no plan for industrial psychology.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're here now and you've made it really far. So I'm sure you're very proud of yourself.
Yeah. Really, I didn't know what I was missing, to be honest. You know, when you are at undergrad, when you discuss with your peers, what you discuss with peers without clear counseling and guidance, you end up following the wave and what will be happening and what will be going on. It was like clinical is cool than industrial. But to be honest, if you ask me now, I will give you another perspective, which is industrial psychology might be the best field in the field of psychology.
I think that's why
because
it's always
you do counseling of staff, you do heal staff in the work environment. They come up with all social issues or work-related issues that they have, and you have to balance that too to ensure that they produce, to ensure that they are productive. So I would say I'm better now in terms of practice of psychology.
Well, that's wonderful to hear. So you've already taken me through a bit of your academic journey now. Can you share with me some of your proudest moments on this journey?
I will say when I came to do the presentation, when I started at the proposal stage, I don't know how many how many I have written and how many times have I been asked to correct, several times. So when it came to the time to do the presentation, I thought, wow, with all these struggles that I was doing at the proposal stage, I might be told to redo it. And to be honest, the most exciting moment was to do the presentation with the professors there, the doctors there, the full committee there. And there was no major correction except for 2 or 3 grammatical corrections that were given. In terms of the concept, in terms of the idea and everything, none was corrected. From the topic, from the design of the method of gathering data and everything else, nothing was corrected, which made me so very, very proud. I sailed through, but the tough time that I had with the supervisor preparing for that wasn't easy.
The supervisor being Professor Pere.
Yeah, it wasn't easy. To be honest, many times I've quitted in my heart and I would say, no, I think I have to stop. I don't want to do it anymore. And then you encourage yourself, you write again, you do the corrections as you would have said, you go, you read again, you give you a lot of manuscript, a lot of work to read, a lot of journals, you go, you read, you prepare again, you come back again and present. So it has been tough. But when I did the presentation, I sailed through so easily.
So coming off the back of that, what would you say overall was your experience working with Professor Wilfredo Pere as your supervisor?
The experience is great. And I would say I have to keep him through my academic journey. I can't afford not to have to partner with him as I proceed and go on, really. My writing style wasn't so good. At first degree and even at master's, we were advised when you do write in a very simpler way you could be. No big words, no so much like complex writing. You have to write in a very, very simplified way. And with that notion, that's how I was writing my first proposal. And he said, no, this one is undergrad material. You have to make up. So the writing style have changed, really. And I had to read a lot of journals that he wrote. Without him knowing, definitely he doesn't know, but I had to read a lot, even those that were not in my area, to try to understand what sort of writing style he's talking about. And I'm proud to have been supervised by him, really. And my writing style have tremendously changed.
Well, the professor didn't know then, but he knows now that you had to do some of your own research to see what he was talking about. And, you know, that's part of the process. And I think that it's also commendable that you took your own initiative to go and do your research and to understand what Professor Pere was trying to say. And also just always note that he is always going to push you to be your ultimate best. And it's going to be uncomfortable in the beginning, but at the end, you're always going to come out stronger, like you have.
Sure. It was not easy. It was not easy, Zareen. It wasn't. He doesn't know many times I've quitted in my heart. If he knew, maybe he would have given up on me. But many times I really.
No. Professor Pere never gives up on people. Never. So he would have continued to push you. If you gave up in your heart and he knew that he gave up, he would call you and tell you to get back up.
And I remember when I did chapter 4, which was basically the methodology part of it, I was surprised that particular chapter he did not correct. And what made me so happy was he said there are concepts in your methods that you wrote, like the bracketing and some other concept that I was putting into there. He said, I've never heard of this. Where did you? I had to research and read also to try to find out exactly what you were talking about. And I realized it's there in research. And again, that made me to show, yes, I'm going in the right direction and I'm doing my homework. I'm doing my all the background that I need to do. If you hear a professor admitting to say, yeah, I haven't come up with this concept, it's my first time to come upon it, yeah, I felt good, really felt good.
I'm glad. I'm glad. So can you tell me, what does this milestone mean for you and mean to you?
To be honest, I have a divided opinion right now. Why? When I did, I was working as a professional, as a human resources practitioner. I'm still working as a human resources practitioner. A number of colleges here in Zimbabwe have given me offers to come and teach, and I've not agreed, basically because of the offers, and also that I really love the professional part of industrial psychology, but I love academics, really. And now, when you are in the professional field, you don't have that space, you don't have that time to do a lot of research, to do a lot of reading. So I haven't made up my mind really right now whether I should keep as a professional HR practitioner or I should go into full-time academics. I haven't made up that mind. So in terms of where I would end, definitely a lot of reading and writing I am doing. But whether I'm going to continue to be a professional or to be a full-time academic, I haven't made up my mind as yet.
Well, I'm sure that you'll make the best decision for yourself, and just always remember that no matter which path you take, both will come with its own challenges. And you just need to decide which of those challenges you'll be able to handle on a daily basis and which ones you'd be able to feel comfortable with going forward.
Sure. Indeed.
Well, I don't have any more questions for you. But thank you so much for your time, and I do wish you everything of the best in making your decision between staying in the professional field or moving to academics. And I am really happy for you. Congratulations again.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr.
Alice, thank you very much. Cleopas, thanks for availing yourself for this chat with Ms Zareen. And of course, Zareen, thank you a lot for always being there to support in this kind of activities. You know, we always appreciate you. And of course, Cleopas, I wish you all the best the journey ahead, because this is the beginning of another journey. The end of one journey is the beginning of another journey. And of course, I know you are in the industry, and at the same time also doing part-time lecturing at the university.
Yes.
Let's hope maybe one day you become also a professor.
You know,
that will tie to at least what you're currently doing, but you have to publish. And I'm glad to advise that 3 of your articles have been accepted in a journal, which will be published anytime soon. You know, so that is actually a reflection of the quality of your PhD thesis. You know, at least if we can publish 3 and above papers, I think it shows that you're quite a strong candidate. And if possible, like I told you, you can see possibility of scavenging another 2 papers out of that your PhD. So we'll look at other places. You know, from PhD, I think it's always necessary to continue building on what you have done. You can even do additional research on your area, and of course get it published. You know, at least 10 to 15 pages of 1.5 line spacing of document with all the different sections and research journal template. You know, definitely we'll get it published somewhere. You know, so
Professor.
Yeah, so all in all, I think I wish you all the best. And in fact, you are one of my best candidates. You know, in terms of my PhD candidate. You're a good writer, and your writing is quite lucid and clear for your readers to understand and grapple with what you're talking about. You know, so I'm really impressed with you, and I wish you all the best in your future career.
Thank you, Professor. But to be honest, you know, I had read a lot of your articles that you have done, even those that were not related to the topic, for me to understand really when you were saying improve your writing.
Thank you very much.
All right, Professor.
Okay, keep well.
And as I was saying, maybe Zareen will give you the recording, but right now, I haven't made my mind whether I should be full-time academic or I remain in industry. But definitely, I will bother you with a lot of advice in this coming year.
No, certainly, I'm there. Most of my all the PhD candidates, my previous candidate, they always come back to consult me, and that is actually what it is all about. You know, once you graduate from a particular person, you become a pupil of that person. You know,
Exactly.
according to academic talents. For me, I'm a pupil of Professor Slabat, and of course, you are a pupil of Professor Fore. So it goes like that. So certainly, the mentorship does not stop. Just once you get your PhD, the mentorship still continues. And in fact, I think Zeri was the person that interviewed Professor Philip Adekambi, the guy I told you to contact also. You know, Philip Adekambi is now currently a postdoctoral fellow under my supervision, and of course also lecturing also part-time at UJ. And so far, Philip Adekambi has published more than 20 journal articles, you know, that the university was ready to keep him around, you know, because he's fulfilling his mandate, you know. So that is what I expect from all my candidates. In fact, almost all my PhD candidates have nothing less than 5 papers because I always grade them and make them to be true academics that they want to be. Because if you come for a PhD, we are not training you just as an administrator, but we are training you as an academic that will also impart on other upcoming academics you know, in your area. So what I have deposited in you, you should deposit it to upcoming academics and mentor people. That is how we make the world a better place, you know.
Sure, Professor.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And of course, once again, thank you, Zeri, for your kindness, for always being there.
My pleasure.
Okay.
My pleasure, Prophets. Anytime.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you, Zareen. Bye.
Keep well, guys.
No problem. Thank you, Dr. Cleopas.
Bye.
All right. Bye, Professor.
Yeah.